Right. Hello. Oh, there's a timers playing up in the corner there. Okay, let's move that back. Thank you very much for joining, everybody who's watching. Today, I'm going to do. I've got a few more things that I'll tell you. People. I've got a list of people. They're who I'm going to be having a gripe about. Also, I've got a cigar here, which I haven't smoked a cigarette in 10 years. A proper real cigarette. I've had some what was it, marijuana about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe about that. Rick R, hello to you. But I haven't had a cigar in longer than 10 years, because I went through a phase where I was smoking a few just to try it out. But last time I did a live stream, Peter B, one of my regulars, Peter B, was very kind enough to donate some money for me to buy a cigar and a bottle of cider. The cider I've got in the fridge. I'm going to save that for another video. Starting to choke in, I haven't even lighted this thing up yet. I'm going to save the cider for another video, but I'm going to smoke the cigar today. This short. Actually, no, I was thinking it'd be a short live stream because I've got a duck in the oven, which is going to take 90 minutes. But I suppose what I could do is, if I'm still talking and there's plenty of people watching and all that lot, I suppose I could carry on, just take the duck out of the oven to cool down, make a sandwich with it later. Okay, anyway, so let's see. We've got a few people watching. Anybody want to shout out before I get started? Go right ahead. Rick R has put a comment in. And a little, what do you call that? Little emoji, I think they call it. Halloween emoji. Yeah, if you want to put some emojis on there, that's great. Liven things up a little bit. Because it's Halloween. Was it now? 22nd. I think it's Halloween on the 31st. What was that? 9 days? Anyway, 9 days to go. Anyway, I've made a list on this napkin, which I'm trying to think of a better word, but I've made a list of people who require a kick in the cunt. Okay, now there's quite a few people on the list, people who just fucking piss me off during the weekend. People I meet, all the time. I'm meeting people in the street, at the shop, on the bus, everywhere. Anyway, I tell you who. I've put these in. They're not in any kind of. Let's see. I'm going to start with the. There's a woman. See if you agree with me. Like on the YouTube adverts, they're doing an advert for recycled bog roll. They're selling them in boxes of 48, and they're recycled, and they've got special. Colored paper on the outside to make them look like, like sweets, or but basically, they make them look sort of colorful and bright, and red stripes, green stripes, blue stripes, all that kind of thing. And it's the woman on there. Oh boy, she's the one who's getting really excited about having this bog roll around her house and in the bathroom and all that lot. And she's sitting on a tree singing. That one who's like, who gives a crap? Who gives a crap? Saving all the trees for the birds and the bee. She's nobody should be that excited about bowel movements or bog roll or anything like this. Anyway, but no, it's Joe Morland. Hello, Joe Morland and Rick R. Have you seen that woman on the advert? The bog roll advert. She's really excited about, but overly enthusiastic about the product that she's selling. I just want to, she's another one. I just want to slap her on her fat face, because she's one of those people who instantly I find annoying. Anybody want to actually comment on one of the, people are saying hello to FMC Repair. I never know how to read that. FMC Repair Amar, hello to you. Anyway, it's a popular advert. Anyway, so there's one. Yeah, I mean, very occasionally, because it's one of those things where I I will absolutely not buy that product because I hate the people on the advert so much that I will purposely avoid that ad, that product that they're selling. Yeah, there's no need for her to be that happy. All right, I'm gonna unroll this. Maybe Peter B will actually. Shall I'll give it 5 minutes. Maybe Peter B will show up because he's the one who paid for this. Let's see. Now this was like what was it? I think it was about £2. It was around the £2 mark. I'm not. I think it says B&H silver on the shelf, although there's no markings on here except for this barcode. You know, but I think you put a little bit extra because it was a single one. I think what they do, they bust open a box. You can buy these in, I don't know, half a dozen, I guess. Anyway, so I'll give that a few minutes and see if he shows up on the account he paid for it. If not, I'll light it up shortly. Yeah, I guess nobody's seen that advert then. Am I the only one who sees that advert? I see that advert quite often, because I'm on YouTube quite a lot. Which reminds me, I'm still looking for a camera, so bear with me. I'll try and throw in the odd live video. If I can, occasionally the camera will work. It's amazing how it just, as a mind of its own, it'll work and then it'll stop. Anyways, but I'll do what I can. Let's see. We've got a few people watching. Anybody else want to let me know who's watching? You'll get, I've got a few people. I'm 7.5 minutes in. I've got a few people watching. Anybody else? You get a shout out. There's a thing that we're all being affected by the Chinese plague. Okay, it's a right big royal pain in the ass from everywhere you go. From it affects pizza delivery or to getting on the bus, to go to the shop, to go into work. I say pizza delivery because if you ever then Domino's Pizza, if you want to throw in a comment, let me know if this happens to you. If you order a Domino's Pizza, then what they do now is they like to have these little cardboard trays which they'll put on the floor and then put your pizza on it. So then you've got they bend down and put the pizza on the floor. You've got to bend down and pick it up. Even because apparently it's to stop the COVID spread. Even though they don't seem to realise, these stupid fuckers in Domino's, in the warehouse, you've got 20 people handling this particular pack. I've been in warehouses where they have boxes. They come in flat, all right, and sometimes you have a machine that folds them. Other times they'll, I think sometimes these might come into the shop flat, where you've got a guy, he'll stand there for half an hour making up the boxes, similar to what I did in the video shop with these standees. You've got to fold them in certain places. But you've got a guy handling that. He's making up the boxes. He's stacking them up. You've got another guy making the pizza, another guy handling the ingredients. He's handling the box, putting the pizza in the box, gives it to another guy, a delivery guy. He throws it into a probably the back seat of his car or in those heated little packs that they carry, brings it to your house, takes it out of the box, and all of a sudden he can't hand it to you because that's the risk of contamination, even though 13 people have fucking handled the box beforehand. So that's why they want to put it on the floor. And they're the only ones that do it. I've actually complained over the phone to them. I said, look, when the guy comes round, don't have him put my dinner on the floor. They're like, well, it's policy. So look, I don't give a shit. Because the very first time it happened, the guy actually said it at the door. Would you like me to put it on the floor? I said, no, give it to me. And after that, they can get a bit arsey on your doorstep because it apparently is procedure that they place it on the floor. Never mind about asking the customer, would you like me to put your dinner on the floor for you? Given the choice, no, thank you. But yeah, I mean, if you persist in saying no, nobody just hand it to me. Yeah, they can get a bit annoyed over that for some reason, and then of course they lose their tip. No tip for them if they do that. But yeah, like I say, it doesn't matter to them that a bunch of people have handled the box. It's handing it from them to you is the problem for them. Bobby Burnell. What? I can't bend over to get my pizza? There you go. No, well, the thing is, I mean, I prefer not to. I mean, one, I don't want to pick up my dinner off the floor. Two, I'd rather not give my knees any more problems than sometimes I have in the cold weather. Bobby Burnell says I need a punch. Well, I would probably agree with that sometimes. Yeah, you're not the first to say that, I would imagine. But that's the thing, people love me or loathe me. There's nowhere in between. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, they're the only. I call other pizza places. I order chicken places. Other takeaway places. None of them insist on putting your food on the floor when they hand it to you. That they hand it straight to you. It's just Domino's being stupid. Yeah, so because everybody's getting. I mean, I'm not saying that this COVID Chinese plague is. I'm not saying that there's nothing to it. I'm just saying, I believe that they're making it out to be worse, making it out to be worse. But they're making it out to be, more worse than it actually is, in my opinion, because it's been discovered that in America, at least, I would imagine that this country is no different. That they were attributing COVID deaths to everybody. You die in a car crash. If you happen to have COVID, ding, a tick for the COVID deaths. Shoot yourself in the head, and you happen to have COVID death. And that's why the fucking numbers were going through the roof. It's because they were fudging the numbers, And, there's all kinds of reasons that I could go into about why they would do that. But I'm under no illusion that this country would do the same for its own benefit. The politicians would make us more scared. Bobby Vanell, indeed. So I mean, it's got people acting really weird. I mean, I was going to the shop the other day, and I'm walking down the path, and again, I mean, I've had people when it first kicked off this plague, they would walk into the road, off the path into the road, and walk around me. Now, the other day, I had one where a woman actually walked into somebody's driveway to go around in a big circle around me, rather than just me on the path, on the path. I mean, I had a go at a woman in the. She was being a bit stupid in the co-op one time about she's not supposed to be going down the same aisle as me. She'd go around. She's telling this kid, and I said to her, "Lady, listen." She's going, "Oh, the government said that we." I said, "Listen, they don't fucking know anything, right? As long as they don't spit on you, cough on you, sneeze on you, lick my hand and slide it across your face, you're fine, okay? Don't believe everything the fucking government tells you." And she didn't take that too well at all. It's like, because some people do. Some people believe everything the government tells you. I mean, in certain regards, they have your best interests at heart, but on the other hand, they are there to govern. That I've said this before. No, Batesy Boyo is keeping law and order. Yeah, but actually, Bobby Burnell, he wasn't too bad. He was he deleted his messages there. Yeah, well, I don't know. Some of them I didn't read them all. Some of them I read, but yeah. Anyway, nice to stop by, keeping the law and order, as we say. Oh, he's on Bobby Burnell's on a timeout. And I don't know. All right, look. Make grinders cry, Mark. What do you think about Stella Artois? I don't know. Listen, if anybody's got any comments actually on the subjects that I look, I don't really drink Stella Artois. I may have had it in my life. I've had quite a few different brands. I'm not really a lager drinker as such. I do drink cans occasionally, but as regulars will know, I'm more of a vodka. I've got this to go, and I've just bought another bottle. So probably move into that. Well, what was I saying? I can't remember. But see, that's the thing. Right? If anyone's got any comments about what I'm saying, great. Throw them in. Can't remember what the fuck I was talking about now. I was talking about some, stupid woman in the shop. Yeah, but I mean, it's affecting all of us. I tell you what, the what was eventually going to lead on to is the business with the face masks. Okay, in the shopping centre here in Milton Keynes, it's that they put a tannoy thing over the message over the tannoy that it's law that you have to wear the masks. And well, the thing is, on the bar site you have to wear them in the shopping centre. But the thing is, I can only wear them under the nose because I wear glasses, so I can't wear them above the nose. Otherwise, they steam up and I can't see shit. Okay, so I have to have it below my nose. And I figure as long as I don't sneeze on anybody, I'm fine. But I've had two separate people on the bus saying, "Oh, you mate, you're supposed to put it above your nose." Oh man, I felt bad about the second time because the first time the old woman said to me, and I thought, oh yeah, all right, I'll avoid trouble. I'll just put it above my nose. It'll steam up, and I might be off in a minute. Last week, I got on the bus, and this fucking guy said, "Oh mate, you're supposed to have it above your nose." I said, "Shut up!" Right, and I went to sit down. Oh, 5 minutes later, he gets off, and he was like, he was a bit fucked up. I mean, he had a big, he had had an operation on his skull. He was definitely not a well person. I felt really bad about what I said to him, but I mean, I probably, I don't know. It's just sometimes I react like that. The guy just out of the blue, talking shit to me, and I just, just lost it like that. I wasn't like any confrontational with him. I just told him to shut it, and carried on to my seat. But because he was like really messed up, his arm didn't work or some fucking shit, and some, I'm a good person deep down, I guess. It's just I have the, I don't deal with somebody fucking with me like that, I just want to go in, do my thing. I want to go into the shop. I don't want to be hassled by the kid behind the till. I don't want to be, I want to get on the bus. I don't want to have an argument with the driver. I just want to sit down, get to work with little inconvenience as I can. Batesy Morrow can't stay long, but just wanted to drop in and say I've missed the updates. You were looking well. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, but because my camera's buggered, I can't, because before I used to put a little video, 1 minute, 2 minute video on to give you about, an hour's notice or something. But I can't do that because it's fucked, Chris the Butcher and Friends says hello. Aha. You've changed your title, I think. It used to be Chris the Butcher. Was it? Or was it? I recognise the picture, of course, but there's another guy called Chris. Another guy called Chris Butcher, who sometimes writes in, but Chris the Butcher. Yeah, Chris the Butcher there. He's got his own channel. He's actually a real life butcher. Works in a butcher shop, and he does similar to what I do. Different style of cooking, of course, but he does a cookery channel. Worth a check, actually. He's done some very interesting foods, and he does a few reviews as well. Make Grinders Cry. Hey, I remember you did a lager review. This is Make Grinders Cry. Did lager review in Carl's back garden. No, it was actually somebody else's back garden. But I know who you mean. That's why I asked. Oh, I see. I thought you might have had some advice on lager, beer, whiskey. That was the point I was trying to get to. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. It was actually somebody else's garden. I was testing some, I don't know, Polish lager or something. It wasn't great. It was, it was room temperature, but I tried to chug it, but I nearly puked it up. But yeah, I mean, I haven't drank whiskey in a lot of years. But if anybody's interested, if you type in the search bar Mark's, or type in everything you want to find, Mark's Remarks sandwich, Mark's Remarks curry, Mark's Remarks casserole, Mark's Remarks. Did I say sandwich? In this case, Mark's Remarks alcohol. Well, actually, it's in the playlist anyway. But I've done reviews on lager, lots of ciders. I went through a lot of those. Um, a few vodka drinks. Anyway, but yeah, that's the way to go. Okay, I'm gonna. What's my? I bought this specially for when I was because I was thinking, because a while back, ages ago, I bought this little bong, and I bought this lighter especially because it's for lighting, the bongs. Like a regular lighter, you turn it upside down, you burn your thumbs. Anyway, that's what I bought this for. It's really good. It's got like a. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, you had the guy on the bus. He was yeah. I felt bad about giving him shit. Um, but all the time, you go somewhere, and also on the bus as well. Like it's a bit hit and miss because some drivers I've seen them refuse people on the bus because they don't have a mask. Other people get on, and when they sit down, they take their mask off. I've seen people with no masks at all. I've seen people get on the bus, and the driver will say, "Where's your mask?" And they're like, and they hold this little badge up. Yeah, I'm exempt. Like this, I've seen people. I've seen a 17-year-old look like a college girl. She had this, had the ticket. Fuck knows what was up with her. She looked pretty normal to me. I've seen other people. There's, but the thing is, I mean, so they're exempt from wearing a mask, even though they've probably got just as much chance of spreading this plague as anybody else, only they've got special dispensation, I think they call that, to not wear a mask, even though they are, so effectively they're putting everybody else's life in danger because they happen to be something fucking ailments with them. I mean, half the time they don't look they look pretty normal enough. There's one guy who fucking winds me up. There's this huge guy. I sometimes meet him at the bus stop. He's one of these, he's a bit fucking loony, and he's got this habit of coughing all the time, right? And he makes no attempt to cover his mouth. I told him oh, it was on the bus. I was really fucking, I was lost it. He's coughing away. He's always, he's at the back, and he's, from the time he gets on to the time he leaves, he's coughing away. And I turned around and told him, just shut the fuck up, or threw a fuck word in there somewhere. You better fucking pack it in. Mind if he wanted to, he could be rip my head off if he. But no, I was just fucking annoyed, right? Because he doesn't have to wear a mask because he's exempt. He makes no attempt to cover his mouth, and he's fucking filling the bus up with plague, So, but yeah, so I don't get it. It's like when I've been in a warehouse before, and you go through the security gate to leave the building to make sure you're not nicking stuff, and the security asks you to take off your hat, and they say, "Well, why are they not?" And say, "Well, religion." Fuck off. So everybody's got a reason why they can get away with not following the rules. Okay. Which reminds me, actually, I'm gonna like this. Yep, Mark Mullet is in the house. Hello to you. Make Rangers cry. Nice. That is a spliff you've got there, Mark. Looks fat. No, it's actually it's a £2 cigar. Although, yeah, if I did have some, if I could fit that much marijuana into a cigarette, I'd be pretty good. Back in the day, I used to make was it three? I used to, like the long cigarette, not the regular cigarette papers, but the long ones. I used to be able to make three long, glue them together with the, make three, put three together. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, that reminds me. I was in the shop. Well, actually, it's not too bad. I was in the CEX shop, but it must be about 2 weeks ago. Oh, get this, right? I go in there, right? I'm clearing out all my DVDs, getting rid, because there's I got hundreds of them, right? And I hardly ever watch them. So I thought, right, put them in the shopping trolley, get me in my trolley, whip them up to the CEX shop. In fact, if anybody goes in the CEX shop at the city centre, Milton Keynes, tell the guy I've been talking about him. All right, I go in, all right, and I load up all my DVDs onto the counter, and of course, because they have to check through them all, and then I go round and I find some because I want to get a voucher to get a box set of Walking Dead. I think it was. Yeah, there you go. Walking Dead 7, 8, 9. Okay, so he's going through that. He's taking about 20 minutes. I find the stuff that I want. He's almost done, and I'm standing at the counter. And what was it? I don't have my mask on because sometimes I just forget to put it on because I'm in the shop. I don't have a mask on, and this fucking huge guy, right, big giant haystacks looking guy. It's hard to tell what the fuck. I don't know if he's a manager because they all look like shoppers. You got people. Certainly when you can see the bunch of keys or something hanging around their neck, you realise that they're a member of staff because they look like they're dressed like a bit. Nobody ever wears uniforms. Anyway, so this kid's sorting out my DVDs. This giant haystacks behind the counter. So he calls me mate, which I fucking hate. I hate shop assistants. They call me mate. He says, "Mate, can you put your mask on? Over your nose." I'm like, well, I said to him, right, well, I'm not your mate, but I'll do it anyway, So I put the mask on, and he's standing there behind the counter, and I said, I pointed to a shop assistant who was one till next to where we were dealing. I said, you realise he's not even wearing a mask? Never mind about over his nose. Oh, he's exempt, like this. And I said, yeah, of course he is. And it's like, yeah, he's a medical condition. Yeah. I'm not like, I'm really sort of getting a bit sarcastic with this guy. I said, yeah, of course he's exempt. He looks fucking normal to me. Yeah, he's blagging it. And that pissed him. That didn't make him happy. But that's the kind of thing, if I hear some stupid shit like that, I'm one of these people that just reacts like that, before I sort of think, oh, well, maybe I should be quiet. But I'm really... Hold on a sec. That's the timer. I've got to... Oh. All right. Oh, I've got to be careful. Get my shorts on here. Fucking hell, I just inhaled some smoke. Actually, this flame looks blue on my screen there. Anyway, yes, I've got a duck, so I've just had to turn the timer again. Yeah, I'm one of these people, I very rarely can keep my mouth shut, If somebody's talking shit, I normally speak up straight away, like, I call them on it quite. Sometimes I'll bite my tongue and just sort of like go with it, but more often than not, I have to I just react, So anyway, this guy's, I point out the guy, he's not even wearing a mask, and he said, as soon as he said he's exempt, I said, yeah, of course he is. And he's going, yeah, he's medical. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Fucking bullshit, like this. And of course, the guy was none too pleased. And it got me thinking, you either have a rule or you don't. Either everybody wears a mask or they fucking don't. I mean, unless the guy has a morbid fear of face masks, or I mean, what the fuck? What ailment would somebody have to exempt them from a face mask? It's not like a gas mask. It's not like we've got fucking, mustard gas going around. It's a paper mask you put on your over your nose and face. But certain people get away with it for some unknown bullshit. I don't know what reason it is, but I can't think of any kind of reason that would exempt somebody. I mean, he wasn't drooling or howling or anything. He looked fairly well, as normal as I can get working in the CEX shop. I mean, fuck me, a bunch of Looney Tune weirdo-looking motherfuckers. Some of them have got orange hair, some of them got blue hair. They've got piercings all over the place. It's crazy. So yeah. Oh, that was after I was doing. Oh Jesus, this is an example of how I just cannot control myself. Anyway, so the guy, so they get my voucher, I give them the the DVDs, I give them the Walking Dead. I take my Walking Dead, put them in my trolley, and I said to the kid, "Thank you very much," and "Fuck you very much," like this to the guy, the big haystacks guy, and then walked on. I got about 6 paces, took my mask off, make sure I had a look into the glass cabinets before I left, and just left. This guy never chased me out or anything. But that's the thing. If everybody follows the rules, or in some cases is law, I don't have a problem with it. It's just when they're selective of who, they got to be fucking with me, making sure I got my mask on, but there's other people running around without. You either it's all it's for everybody or it's for nobody. Let's see, is that Mark Mullet? Yes. Make grinders cry. Geez, Mark, what is that lighter you got there? Looks like one of those things mechanics have to melt melt metal. Yeah, well, it's one of those that you can either. There you go. You can either have like that, or you can, it's for when you're lighting pipes, or for some certain people it'll be lighting bongs, I suppose. Because otherwise, remember, if you've got a regular lighter, you try and turn it upside down to light your pipe, you burn your thumb. So this is you can face it downwards, and it's got a jet rather than a flame. It's got a jet, so it's interesting. A couple of quid, I think it's it's refillable. Probably won't be able to see there, but it's it's about halfway. Anyway, so yeah, a couple of pounds. Right. I think I've only used it once since I bought it, like 2 years ago. Marlet, is that a spliff? The oxyacetylene torch. No, it's not a spliff. It's a cigar, which Peter B, who is not joining us at the moment, but last live stream he was kind enough he donated £5 actually, which is very nice of him. Sometimes people do that. It's not something I sort of push, but people do. And what they do, he sent £5 or £5 last week for me to buy a bottle of cider and a cigar. So I'm smoking the cigar tonight. I've got the cider in the fridge. I'll do on a different video. So he's not around, but a big thank you to him. And if anybody's got anything special that they want me to do, want me to go out and buy, if they want me to go out and buy a cigar, and they want to pay for it, by all means do that, and I'll go out and buy it, and I'll smoke it, and give you a mention as I'm smoking it. There you go. So, but yeah, like I say, it's something I don't encourage, but mainly because I don't like to be hawking, like some YouTubers. They're like constantly at people to try and donate, get onto Patreon and all that lot. What I used to try and do was what I used to say to people on the videos or on the live stream. I would say, if you want to help the channel and you don't want to spend any money doing it, that's fine. Just allow the adverts to play. That's all, and that will soon end up, and then I can buy things like duck and beef steaks and all that. I can make videos on cooking those and that kind of thing. Oh, George C is in the house. Evening, Mark. Evening, all in the chat. Oh, well, welcome to George C, another regular. There you go. I'm just saying to everybody. I don't know if you heard. Smoking a cigar paid for by Peter B last week. So yeah, that was the man in the CEX shop. So he got a mouthful. Oh, it was funny though when I left, I just couldn't resist saying to thank you and fuck you, like this right to his face. And oh dear. Right, woman on Who Gives a Crap advert. Yeah. Oh god, I want to punch her in the face. That woman on the bog roll advert. Who gives a crap? Who gives a yeah. Oh, something to fuck. Oh, Jesus. This YouTubers starting to piss me off, even more so than usual. Fucking assholes they are. Over every now and again, some fuckhole will watch one of my videos and then decide to report it to YouTube. Okay, yeah, they got nothing else better to do than to cause trouble, so they decide to report a video. I've had a few reported videos, and to YouTube's credit, if they do deserve any credit, they haven't taken any videos off except for that live stream where apparently I was using hate speech. So they, cut the live stream short. But normally what they do is they inform me that one of my videos has been reported and they're going to put an age restriction on it. I don't know how badly that fucks things up, but it's just an inconvenience that, they've done that on some of my tomato plants. They actually wrote to me this morning. Okay, get this. One of my early videos is going way back. I've had the channel now for just over 3 years. I don't know when it was, but it was a good couple of years ago. I did a review. Now, for those who are not here in England, and for those who are in England, I don't know, there is a product. There's a company called Mr. Brains. That's the name of the company. And they do a product called faggots. It's basically a pork meatball in gravy. Okay, so Brains faggots made by the Brains company. I did a review on that a couple of years ago. Not my favorite dish, but I figured, I got it cheap enough, and not my thing. I got a fucking email from YouTube saying we've had a report. Somebody's complained about the video, and we're going to age restrict the video. Christ knows why, but I can only assume because of the word faggots in it, which is a food product. You ask. So I wrote back. I actually I wrote a letter saying I call them morons. Actually, I can't remember exactly how it goes. Oh, I started off the email. You are pathetic. Is how I started the email return to them. You are pathetic. If you'd have watched this video, as you say you have, you would realize that Mr. Brains, in quotes, is a company name, and faggots, in quotes, is the name of a product, a pork meatball, And I went on to say that whoever figures that this is deserves to be age restricted, something along the lines of is a moron and shouldn't be allowed to have a job which involves any kind of authority, involving any type of responsibility which affects other people, was the basic idea that I put forward. So I called them pathetic morons. I'm still waiting for a reply. So what they'll do, they'll probably read that. Hopefully they'll give it to somebody more than 25 years old who's got some sense. They'll write back to me saying, well, we've reconsidered, or no, we're going to uphold the 18, so age restricted. So only people who are 18 are able to watch the Mark's Remarks, Mr. Brains faggots. If anybody wants to watch that video, just type that in the search bar, Mark's Remarks faggots or Brains faggots. Make sure you got Mark's Remarks in there, and you'll see that there's nothing untoward in there. It's just a product called faggots. It's a meatball made by the company called Mr. Brains, and they figured, oh no, we can't have kids looking at that. Christ, no. Anyway, but I did the same a couple of weeks ago when they age restricted one of my tomato plants. Some stupid bastard complained about it, and I said, look, So, what can you do? You can't do much. I mean, they say they're going to ban it or age restrict it or take it down. All you can do is write something to say, no, you are wrong. And it goes back and they will review it. I don't even know if they review it. Maybe it's the same guy. Maybe they just figured, sorry, I can't be bothered. It's lunchtime. Click, 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 and banned a lot of them. Let's see. Just reading George C here. George C, I got a message when I joined this stream saying some viewers may find this content offensive. Jesus, I can't believe that. The bloody YouTube fuckers. Do you wish to proceed? Man, I can't believe that. Talk about throw a guy under the bus. I mean, people who are just sort of wandering towards my channel and are trying to ward them off, My answer, yes, I want Mark at his most offensive. Offensive best, absolutely. Oh, I can't believe that. Well, by the way, you may be offended by what Mark's going to say, like this. Fucking YouTube. But anyways, so that's what YouTube are pulling nowadays. It's like, for no good. Who the Christ makes a meat product, a fucking food, a meat product in gravy? Only 18-year-olds are allowed to watch it. I mean, what are they thinking? I mean, only anyway. Makes you wonder what they're doing. I mean, do they have children working at the YouTube office reviewing all these videos? I mean, Christ, I mean, an adult would look at that if indeed they did watch the video. Maybe they just got as far as the time. But if they watched the video, they would have realized that all it is a meatball in gravy. But no, only 18-year-olds are allowed to watch that. Age restrict that fucking thing. Let's see. I've got that big giant haystacks in the CEX shop. Yeah, fuckers on the bus exempt from wearing masks. Public gatherings. Actually, yeah, and the other brains faggots there. The other thing I was going to talk about. Let's see. Mark Mullet. Mark isn't politically correct, so people find this channel offensive. Yeah, that's right. Well, the thing is, I've said from the very beginning, I'm not a politically correct person. I hate politically correct talk. I find that offensive. Politically correct talk. It's funny that there's a guy at work. I've got not a kid as such, but I mean, well, yeah, he's a kid, but we got off the bus the other day because we got off the same stop, and he was saying about he mentioned the color, like a colored fella upstairs, in the warehouse, and I said, colored. Oh, do you mean the Negro? Or like this, being funny with him. And he'd never heard that before. And I said, yeah, that's the proper, old-timey word, Negro, Negress, which some people have got offended by that because they get confused in their head with Negro and nigger, okay? But that aside, it's just an old-timey word because, I mean, I've been to Spain, and the word for black is Negro. If anybody's around office photocopy toners, those tube-shaped ones. You look at the box when it's describing the color. It's got black, and it's got like 6 different languages to say the word black, to say what color the toner is. And in Spanish, it says Negro. We've been to Spain. We try to find the light for the bog. You go in the gents in this restaurant, and they got one of those push-button ones. It's got like 2 minutes worth of light, and then it stops. So we didn't realize this. We went to the barman and said, "Look, we can't go. I want to take a leak, right?" And it's fucking dark in the, black in the gents. Black. Oh, and he's like, "Oh, Negro. Yeah, that's right. It's Negro in the gents. That's all it is." But he'd never heard of it, and I mean, I didn't do it to be offensive to anybody. I'm just trying to tell the kid that this is an old-timey word going back a long time, but it's I don't believe it to be offensive as such. Yeah, people find the word nigger offensive. Yeah, all right. But Negro and Negress, they're two legitimate words, especially when, Negro is Spanish for black. Nobody calls up the Spanish for saying it. What was I saying? Yeah, so I was on the subject, right? Okay, now it is almost another week to go. Oh, I'll tell you. I'll have a surprise hopefully in a week. Another week until the 11th month. So we're looking at 22 of the 11, 22 of the 12. So we're looking at 2 months until Christmas. Okay, and then a week after that will be New Year's. Okay, so I mean, like the government are always, around it, at least in England here. They're got it in my eye. They're saying that at the start of the plague, everybody stay indoors. Nobody leave unless absolutely necessary. Okay, a few weeks and months go by. People are desperate. They go to the shops, and then they're like, okay, all right, you're allowed out of the house to go to the shops. Don't mingle with anybody any more than you have to. And that looks blue on my screen for some reason. Don't go out the house any more than you have to. Don't go shopping any more than you have to, blah, blah, blah. And then a few months go by, they start to open up the restrictions. Is that, okay, well, now you're allowed into restaurants with restrictions. Now you're allowed to go into pubs. And then, of course, the infection rate goes up, according to the news, whether it's fudged like the Americans were, months ago with their accounting of the numbers. I don't know, but the news reports were saying that the numbers were going through the roof. Well, of course they are, because you're allowing people to mingle, right? So now they're saying, right, now we've got to stop people from mingling again. We've got to stop all this. And then it dawned on me, we've got 2 months to go till New Year's. Now, if you think it's bad that people are mingling in pubs and restaurants and they're hanging out on parties in people's backyards and all this kind of stuff, when New Year's comes, are you gonna have the entire population not? I mean, they won't be allowed into clubs and pubs. Probably they'll probably cancel that, but they're going to be mingling out in the streets. They're going to be buying all the booze up from these supermarkets and having parties at their houses. And then in London and Times Square in New York, they're going to be thousands of people all congregating together. I don't think they're going to be able to stop that. I don't think people are going to be. People don't have the sense to actually not go to these events. I'll tell you, this cigar is choking me. So yeah, I tell you what. Once that happens, you think it's bad now. When you start getting tens of thousands of people congregating in the streets, it's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. So then we might start seeing some legitimate increases in, because we get news reports all the time. 300 dead over the weekend. It's all fucking, it's all scaremongering. I don't think it's quite as bad as what they're making out, but it is. There are people who are contracting it, and George C. says, Scotty B wanted you to talk about the influx of immigrants at Dover. Well, the thing is, I've actually talked about that on other live streams. I actually watched I watched some of it on the news. I tend to stay away from the news, which is really, really bad, because I used to watch the news religiously. But nowadays, it just pisses me off half the time watching the news, because it's all, the government fucking dicking around. But I did watch a load of protesters at Dover, and of course you've got the police all pushing the protesters back, even though they have a legitimate gripe. You got people coming over on boats, and what are you going to do? We don't have politicians who are going to stand up and say, no, enough is enough. Send them back. We got our own fun problems, okay? We've got enough on our plate. But no, we bring them in, put them in accommodation and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and guess who's paying for that, right? But yeah, I mean, the police are always on the side of well, the opposite. They're pushing the protesters away, which admittedly they have to keep law and order. But no, let me tell you, these protesters were keeping law and order. They weren't rioting like the Black Lives Matter fucking psychos or the who's that other lot, the Antifa troublemakers. There weren't anything like that. They were just shouting what they wanted to say, and they were keeping law and order the way the protest should be. No violence, no nothing. It was the way it should be. What did I talk about? Let's see, Jack Hydridge. Remember when people like Blue Van Man used to come into the chat, Mark? The weaklings all went away when old Boggy came on the scene. Yeah. Well, that was partly why I. Good point there, Jack. Hadridge. That was partly the reason why I did it. Okay, because I was sick and tired of looking on the news and people were looking for things to be outraged about. Okay, it was terrible. It still is now, but what they were doing, what kicked it off was that George Trudeau, anyway, that French Canadian president Trudeau. They were going back 20 years looking for dirt on people. They're still doing it now. They look at actors and singers and all that. They're looking for dirt 20 years ago. Anyway, they found him as a college kid with a black face. He was going to a party. Which, by the way, if they want to fucking outrage somebody, look at that ginger goof, Prince Harry, dressing up as a Nazi all those years ago. Yeah, nobody ever mentions that. But anyway, they go back 20 years to find him as a photograph of with a black face, and he was at a party, right? So give the guy a break. So they're dragging this 20-year-old fucking information. And he's on it. I'm sorry, it was a thing. I was a kid, and I'm sorry. So I thought, now I'm fucking sick of these people, apologizing for something that they did when they were young. Okay, you don't do that. So that and a few other things that people were fucking bitching about. So I went out and I bought some paint, and everybody saw I painted myself black, black face with the white eyes. Partly to say to everybody, the world hasn't ended. Tsunami hasn't. That's what I told people. The tsunami hasn't come in, wiped us all out into the ocean. A meteorite hasn't come down and struck the earth. Volcanoes are not erupting all over the planet. The world is still spinning. Everything is correct and right. You whinging twats. Nothing has happened, right? It's just, and of course, the world's still spinning. And people were sending the abuse. And like a soldier, I told them, keep on sending the abuse and I'll do it next week. And I did for about 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember. But I kept on doing it because they kept on whinging. And each time I'm saying, the world's still here. Keep on whinging and I'll do it again. And you're right, Jack, that I did lose some of the some subscribers. I actually noticed a drop in subscribers. I got some back because of people appreciating what I was doing, trying to show people that for all your whinging and crying and carrying on, nothing bad has happened. I lost a bunch of subscribers. I don't know about probably perhaps Blue Van Man, but I definitely know that some people did. Some people told me they were quitting the channel. But what do they want me to do? It's like it's your choice. No, just go. Don't tell me about it. But the channel has progressed. For all the ones that I lost, I got different ones back, so it worked out the same. But it was a good way of weeding out. See, I don't want people to watch my. Well, I want lots of people to watch my channel, sure. I mean, who doesn't, right? But I don't want the snowflake, mamby-pamby, crybaby, soya drinking, girly boys. I don't want them people watching my channel. Okay, this channel is not for them. Anybody who is not easily offended, this is the place, right? Because I tell the truth the way I see it, and that's how it is. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I'm not, like I mentioned, I'm not a politically correct person. I don't say things. The things I say, I don't say to be shocking. I just say them because that's the way I feel. And yes, so what it was a good way of weeding out the chaff. Okay. And what was left with the hardcore. I was surprised with some of the people who left, because some of the people told me they were leaving, and these were long-time subscribers. And I was actually quite surprised and disappointed at the messages that they were sending me, about their disgust about what I was doing, and how was sort of ashamed and disappointed, all that fucking shit. So some of them, it was a bit disappointing because they'd been with the channel for a long time, and there'd been regular correspondence in the chat column and on the live streams and all the rest of it. But they decided to go. But yeah, like I say, it was a good way of getting rid of all the dead weight, all the chaff, and then I'm left with the hardcore people who appreciate what I'm doing, either on the cookery side, which is separate, or the live stream where I'm putting the worlds to rights. So yeah, I make absolutely no apology for putting on the blackface. I've actually told people, that I've done it. I said, when I'm handing out the cards, sometimes the subject will come on about the live streams, and I say, look, it's not for the easily offended. You'll see some videos on there with blackface, but it's actually a Halloween. It was actually a Halloween mask, painted on Halloween, Old Boggy, and Papa Lazu from League of Gentlemen. All those, it was a combination of all those things. So yeah, I don't apologize. I mean, the thing is, I have apologized once or twice. I'm not even, possibly while I've been doing a live. If I've done something wrong or misspoke, I will correct myself, and if need be, I will apologize for a genuine something that I am sorry for. But that is very rare, and putting on the black paint is not one of them. Joseph Stalin. Am I smoking a joint? No, it's a cigar. It was paid for by Peter B. He donated some money last week, or last live stream, and for me to go out and buy a cigar. So I did that. Mark Mullet, Joanne Butler was an empty-headed sheep. Yeah, well, I tell you, she was one of them. She was always writing, in the comments and that. She was a regular. But as soon as I did the blackface, she was gone. So it was just a good way of finding out who your supporters are. It was although that was my intention wasn't to lose any subscribers as such, but it's I'm better than I'm. It's good that the people who appreciate the channel have stuck with the channel, and a lot of people have. I see the same names coming up every every live stream and in the video comments. But yeah, if I can lose some of the dead weight, then that's fine. If I got people who don't appreciate what I'm doing and then go out of their way to tell me what a scumbag I am, I don't need those. They can go. Exactly, 4x4. Yeah, the best subscribers are still here. Yeah, I managed to keep the good hardcore subscribers and gain a few along the way as well. Let's see, Joe Stalin. No, it's a cigar. What's it made? Batesy Boyo, think you got more subs now than before the Exodus? Yeah, because back then I had like 1,500. Now I'm close to 2,000. In fact, I am only about 9,000 clicks from 500,000 clicks. It says on my, I think you can find that information as well. When when you got your playlist, you go onto the playlist and it says about. You click on that and it says My channel started July 17, I think, 2017. I've got this amount of videos, and I've got this amount of clicks. Yeah, another 9,000, and I'll have 500,000 viewings of my stuff. Man, 500,000. I mean, some people get 500,000 per video, you know what I mean? But 500,000's great. You know, I've done it in just over 3 years. Oh, Joseph Starling retracted his comment about these. Anyway. Shropshire Lass. What cigar have you got? Well, I think it says, I think on the label it said B&H Silver, I think. But it was a loose one. I think the shopkeeper took it out of the packet to sell them loose. Cost about £2. And I got a bottle of cider. Well, it was all paid for by Peter B. Last week did a donation. So smoking this today is £2. I got a bottle of cider that he paid for as well in the fridge. I'll probably use that next video. George C. Oh yeah, he's talking to Basie Boy. 1.89 thousand subs isn't far from 2,000. Indeed. Yeah. So if everybody goes to work tomorrow, tells their little buddies, we can soon get that to up to 2,000. Oh, Mad Maz 49. Hello to you, Mark. We need people like you in Parliament. Well, I'll tell you, it's very true. You need people to stand up. I mean, I'm not sure I could take the aggravation of being a prime minister. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate, you know, what with being a buffoon and everything. But you know, but I could definitely be an advisor. You know how like you see on like on like say Game of Thrones or any kind of movie that you've got a king. He's always got an advisor with him to point out another thing that the king might not have seen of another point of view. All the Star Trek captains, they've always got their second in command who's in their ear saying to somebody, here's another point of view that you may not see. I could be that guy. You know, I could be, I could wait. You know, look at the what's going on. The prime minister will have an idea. I could say, well, look, here's another point of view. You know, like on problem with foreigners and whatnot. You know, I could sort all that out. You know, but I just put a different point of view. Sort of like put my 2 cents worth in. Okay, people talking to each other. No, but these people rely on the BBC Guardians who think for them, which means they basically hate white British people. Yeah, definitely is a case of nowadays it doesn't pay to be male or white, I think. What with the BLM business going around. Oh, Jack Haydridge. What's your favourite Rod Stewart song? Well, actually, I did some bar work at the Milton Keynes. Was it Milton Keynes Bowl? No, we have a stadium in Milton Keynes, and they do concerts there. And I did some bar work at a Rod Stewart concert. That was about over a year ago. So I got to hear everything. I got to see it. He was on stage a mile away, but you know he had a big screen behind him for all people that were in the I don't really have a favourite song of his. I mean, I would recognise a bunch of his songs, but I don't really have a favourite song. I'm trying to think of it. I can only think of 2 off the top of my head. But no, he's an old guy now. Shit, you know. But yeah, he was singing for hours at that concert. So, I'd vote for. Betsy Boyo says I'd vote for the Mark Party. Yes, the Mark's Remarks Party. Yeah, you never know. I mean, if Yeah, I could do that. You know, as the leader's advisor. Shit, I just inhaled. So I'm not sure I'm supposed to inhale the smoke, but it's a force of habit from when I used to smoke. You know, I actually inhaled it, which is probably I don't think you're supposed to do that with cigars. I've actually knew somebody who did, but you know. La, 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 la. George C. Have to be a sociopath to get to Parliament, be an MP, unfortunately. I think that's right. Yeah, yeah, you have to be pretty much without a conscience. You have to be, I mean, it would seem that politicians go in that job to serve themselves. They might go in with the best intentions, but after they've been in there a while, they're all there to serve their own interests, which is a bit unfortunate. 4x4. It would be the Remarkable Party. Actually, that's quite catchy. The Remarkable Party. Jack Hadrich, yeah, on your birthday. I don't know what it's referring to. All right, Batesy Boyo, the missus wants to watch a film. Good to see you and enjoy the chat. Oh, yep, thank you very much, Batesy Boyo, for stopping by. And thank you again for, as usual, keeping law and order. You've been keeping law and order for a while, you know. Because sometimes I used to swap, you know, let people do it for a couple of weeks. But you're doing a good job, so we'll, if you're interested, we'll keep you going with as a moderator. I've actually got one other moderator. I can't remember who it is, but I'd have to go through all the settings to find out. But I haven't seen them in ages. But anyway, thank you for what you're doing. And Mrs. wants to. What film is she watching, by the way? If you haven't gone already, what film you're going to watch? Just pretend. George C. Just pretend to be interested in the film. Oh, not a troll is in the house. Hello, Mark. Good to see you on again. What's occurring? What's occurring? Well, no, I'm just talking about all the people who have been winding me up. As I mentioned earlier, people who require a kick in the vag, which is pretty much half the people I meet, actually. You know, but anyway, but there's a few I wrote down here. Yeah. So the last subject we were talking about. Oh, Jack Hadrich. Any new bus stories? Well, there was the people on the bus who are exempt from wearing face masks. They're taking the mick. I was talking about that a little bit earlier. Oh, I had to go with that guy, that disabled guy. I didn't realize he was disabled when I had to go with him. I felt bad about that, you know. But what are we going to do? You know, you get on the bus and some guy says, "Hey, mate, you should have that." You know, mind your own fucking business, you know. Anyway, so anyway, I give him some lip, and but I didn't realize he was sort of disabled until he was getting off, you know. Anyway, so we've got public gatherings at New Year's, so that's going to wreak all kinds of havoc. You've got tens of thousands of people all accumulated in the streets, all coughing and sneezing on each other, and Jack Hadrich goes on to say, "Are you still going to get the bees?" No. Well, you know, the thing is, they I was all set to get the allotment, and that didn't work out. It was made. It was alluded to me that I was going to get the allotment. So you know, I didn't. But that didn't come through. So I've still got my name on the list. It looks like it might be next year at this rate, which is a bit of a bastard. But what are you going to do? You know, so but yeah, if I get the allotment, that'll open up a few more videos because I'll be growing some stuff on the allotment. I'll be growing potatoes and actually, you know what'll be interesting, right? Because I want the allotment that's close. There's a whole bunch of them around here, but I want the one that's closest to me. So I want to fucking trek all over hell carrying a shovel every bloody other day, you know. So So I'll be, if and when I get the allotment, which would be, next time round, hopefully, if all goes well, if the space comes up, I'll be growing things like potatoes in buckets and all kinds of stuff. I'll have a compost bin, which I will be loading up. Because people put their scrap veg and stuff in the compost bin. Well, what a lot of people don't seem to realise is when the council go with their lawnmowers cutting along the side of the road, you can go along. I've actually done that. Scrape up all the lawn cuttings off the roundabouts and all the rest of it, and take it in, stuff it in the compost bin. If you want your compost bin to grow, because I figure the worms will eat as much as you put in there. So the more you put in there, the more they'll eat, the more they'll breed, the more worms will come, the more they'll eat, and then like that. So the more you put in there, they will grow. And then I will have a good supply of dirt, which I can use on the plants, and I will be encouraging the worms to breed, all the worms and all the bugs and all that lot to breed, because I'll be filling it with lawn cuttings, anything I can just get my hands on. The council they dump these big heaps of wood chips and stuff. I'll be filling it up with that. Getting the worms all well fed and breeding in it. Then I've got a good supply of worms, which I can feed, because at every allotment's always got some guy with some chickens. All right, I can feed the worms to the chickens, make a video of that. Although I actually did a series of videos on the chickens from another allotment, and nobody watched them. So, but fuck it. I'll probably film, for my own amusement. I'll be growing the worms and feeding them to the chickens. I assume they'll let me do it. I mean, who in their right mind wouldn't, right? And filming that, and I'll film it, post it, mainly so I can hang around with the chickens, because I like being around the chickens. I can't have any on my own, not like I used to with the last house I was at. There's a lot of chat going on. There's a the chat is going like crazy. Shit. I can't believe, bloody hell, this is like a record number of people watching. No wonder the chat is going mad. I've got 76 people watching, and the chat is going by so far. Helium. Let me sort of slow this down a bit. Right, okay, we've got Anglo-Saxon 1. We got Natty. Have you heard of Patriotic Alternative? No, I don't know what that is. Ben is in the house. Richard Kalergi. Needle Freak 666. Hello to you. Force Marade. Force Marade. Hello to you. Ben Mark with a C. And Angel CYNN. Selling England by the pound is with us. There's a lot of names I haven't seen before. Salty Dog, hello to you. Bearing the Brunt, MOD 54321, Ben again, Natty, Alt Media, White Lives Matter. There's a lot of names. A lot of new names. Oh, welcome. I tell you what, though, because it tells me up here how many people are watching. Anybody want to hit those thumbs up? Go ahead. Let's see what we got. Okay, so so we're going to have problems over New Year's. All the people coughing and sneezing on each other in the streets, because there's no doubt that nobody's going to have a bloody sense to stay at home, like me. Although the thing is, I'm going out. I'm trying to live my life as normally as I can. Which, I mean, here in Milton Keynes, it's fair. It's mandatory. I don't know whether it's law, but it's bus law anyway to wear them on the bus. They say that it's law at the city centre shopping centre, Milton Keynes shopping centre. There's always tannoys going about over the loudspeaker saying it's law. Oh, you know, it's really a pain. You try and get into somewhere like Superdrug or somewhere, right? Or the Poundland. You got to fucking queue up outside the shop because they're letting. And there's a guy with a clipboard or a clicker or some shit, and it's like he's letting people in, marking them down when they leave, marking them down, so then you can let one person out, one person in, just to get into the pound shop. Bloody crazy. Cheddar Madam, Dawn Browning. Always got bloody hell. I tell you what, I think people are talking amongst themselves. Cheddar Mandem, White Lives Matter More. Juba Olino. What's this? Google Patriotic Alternative. Patriotic Alternative. Not a troll asks for everybody to thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you for that. Not a troll. John Enoch Powell. MBE is in the house. Shaky Sugar Puff Teeth. Chicory. What is this patriotic alternative? I'm starting to think that people are just writing that. I don't think. Nope. Yeah, we. Have you heard of Albion something? Dawn Browning. Dawn Browning says, Mark's remarks, we're talking to you! Exclamation mark. Why won't your super chat work? I don't know. I don't even know if I've got super chat. I don't know what that is. I'm seeing people's comments flying up. But I'm not sure what super chat is. Yeah, I'm starting to think that people are. I don't. What everybody's writing search patriotic alternative. I think people are just messing around. I think they're just bullshitting around just to fill up the comments. But I've got it on pause at the moment. At least it's paused for me. Shit, I just inhaled again. Cigars are getting a bit small. Be careful not to singe my face. Yeah, and then on the subject of face masks again on the you got people exempt in shops, people exempt on the buses for no bullshit bloody reason. I was listening to. I was at the bus stop the other day, and I was listening to this woman talking to a friend about how it's not healthy to be wearing the face mask all the time. Because basically, because she was saying she was getting headaches and stuff. Because you've got a face mask on, it hinders your breathing because basically you're exhaling, but you're breathing in the what was it? Is it not carbon? Is it carbon? No, carbon dioxide. I think is coming out of cars. Is it carbon monoxide that we exhale? Anyway, the air that you're exhaling, you're actually trying to you've been hindered exhaling, and then you're breathing it in again. So it's going to cause all kinds of respiratory issues. Because there's a reason why there's a reason why gas masks don't let you breathe in the same air again, because it's not very healthy for you. So because again, this is one of those things where people are taking what the government are saying, too seriously. I'm starting to get a bit lightheaded because I've been smoking this thing. I mean, I see all the time. You got people who I see. If I'm standing on the road, right, or walking down the road, I see people in their cars on their own with a face mask on. I mean, what the fuck? You dummies don't even realize that you're actually quite safe within the confines of your car. But no, they're alone in their car with a face mask on, or they're walking down the street and there is absolutely nobody around them and they're wearing a face mask. And sometimes I'll say it's not say to them, but say loud, mumble under my breath, but loud enough for them to hear. I say, look, you don't have to wear it in the street, don't stupid, which is crazy. If you go into a crowd, put the mask on if you want, but when you're alone in the street, you don't have to. It's just crazy stupid. Now that what I did, what's going on with the comments? The comments have frozen. Oh, there you go. I was up to about 99 people watching. I've got about half of that now. Anyway, the comments thing has frozen. Oh. Ah. Okay. There's let's see. Remember how hide yeah. There's a lot of people writing about this secure future of the children. Yeah, I've got some people on a timeout. I think people are just messing about. Anyway, so that's about all the subjects. Bloody hell. Yeah, I'm not sure. I won't be making this a habit, smoking a cigar, unless somebody wants to, buy one for us. But yeah, I don't think I'll. Anyway, don't know. Oh, Jack Hadrich says that the patriotic alternative is actually a good thing. It might be, but I've got when you've got 20 people all writing it over and over and over again, it just doesn't make sense. It just looks like they're trying to fill up the comments. If that, I've just put a few people on times out because they keep doing it. I mean, of course, how many times you have to write the same bloody message, 4x4, do not inhale. Indeed. Yeah, a couple of times I inhaled by mistake. Yeah. Do they ever, might be a silly question, but like cigarettes, you can get them in different strengths, and you can also get mint flavor, which is what they used to call menthol years ago. I presume they still do. Do they do different flavored cigars or cigars with a flavor in them? Maybe menthol, or not a troll. Have you sampled your homegrown tomatoes yet? Well, actually, I did trim them a couple of weeks ago. I gave a bunch of them away, a bunch of the crop. But I might sample some of the tomatoes myself. Not really my thing anymore, but I might give it a go. Right, that's that. My little ashtray. God blimey. I might have to open the windows. Yeah, might have to go brush my teeth now. I think. Shit. Any reviews from the? Oh, any reviews from the recipients? Yeah, yeah. Actually, one of them said it was really, really good. The other one said he didn't get, didn't like it at all, but his mum did. He gave it to his mum. But yeah, I might sample it just to. Like I say, it's not my thing. Anyway, I'll be going. What's it? Oh, Jesus, an hour and 25. That duck should be done soon. Now, what I've done all the. I wrote down on a napkin here all the topics. Oh boy, I think I'm getting a little bit of a headache. Oh, yeah. If anybody's got any questions or they want to ask me about, then I'll go for a little bit more. When the bell goes, I'll have to jump up and pull the duck out of the oven. I'm going to make some sandwiches, I think, with it. Yeah, not a troll, a head rush for the cigar. Yeah. Years ago, when I was experimenting with cigars, it's like once a week, I used to buy a different cigar. And they were well thicker than this one. This one it's like this one was the size of a pencil. The other ones I got were about the size of a Sharpie. The ones I used to smoke. If permanent marker Sharpie. Yeah, they were actually, I used to like it. They were quite nice. Somebody suggested, actually, I did it a couple of times. You dip the cigar, the part that you inhale from, you dip it in. I think it was whiskey, and then use that as a taster. Head rush. 4x4. You still cooking for your fans? Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. The thing is, I'm trying to find a replacement camera for this. This one is all because I'll try and charge the battery and it won't work. I've got to take the battery on, off, on, off. I've tried heating up the battery, put it in my pocket. Sometimes it'll work, and then it'll go ages when it won't work. I'm trying to find one. I need a specific one. I need one that has a pause button. Okay, not a stop and if I'm filming, I don't want to stop and start. That's no good because that means I've got to edit stuff. But if I have a pause button, just like this one, I can talk, pause, do some stuff, wait 10, 15 minutes for something to happen in the oven, and then come back. Rather than a 45-minute video, I can condense it down into 10, 12 minutes or so because I'm not filming all the stuff that I don't need to film, especially like if I'm cooking a duck. In other videos, you've seen me put the duck in the oven and then come back in an hour and a half, take it out of the oven. There's a gap that I've paused. An hour and a half. So that's why I need a pause button. Jack Hadridge, has your motor scooter arrived? No, it hasn't, and I'm expecting it in a week because it's like 4 to 6 weeks delivery, and it should be at the latest November 2nd, I think, which is about a week away. That's the bell. I don't know if you heard that. I'll give it 5 minutes. Then I'll have to take the duck out of the oven. So no, it'd be about a week for my for the scooter to arrive. I'm looking forward to it, because then I can, it's great because it's like when I had a car, I could go further afield with a car, if I want to go to McDonald's or something at 2 o'clock in the morning. Which I don't think the McDonald's are open 24 hours anymore. But anyway, if I want to try a kebab or a burger from a different shop, in a neighboring estate. Instead of me walking there or getting a bus, I could just, or just scoot round and have some fun. Not a troll. Crispy duck skin is well nice indeed. Yeah, duck is nice. I'll tell you what though. I mean, for anybody who's if you type in Mark's Remarks duck, you'll see bunches of recipes in the list of me using duck. Either duck that has been quartered and then frozen, put into a pack, or whole ducks which I've cooked in the oven. I've done loads of videos. I've used them in sandwiches. I've used them in stir fries. I've used them in all kinds of things. I'll tell you what, though, if anybody's interested, I mean, watch those videos, and and they are very tasty ducks. I mean, and price wise, they're out there with pretty much the same as a chicken. I mean, everybody buys chicken, and they're really cheap. But ducks, they pretty much you can, if you go to farm foods, for example, you can get like three for a tenner, three ducks for a tenner, 1,800 grams each, approximately. They vary slightly, but yeah, three for a tenner, pretty much the same as whole chickens. Sometimes you can buy chickens that are ducks that have been chopped up. So yeah, I like duck. It's quite nice. Jack Hadrich, you have 74 thumbs up. Indeed. I tell you what, though, I had a close to 19, about 99 people watching at one point, which is dropped dramatically now. But I mean, that must be, I think that's the highest I've ever had people watching at one time. And a lot of them thumbs up, which was great. I tell you what, I think, what's it now? An hour and a half. Yeah, it's kind of a short one. I've gone through all the subjects that I had. If anybody wants to, stay tuned. Maybe go through the back catalogue of videos. Check out the duck, Mark's Remarks duck, Mark's Remarks sandwiches. There's a lot of interesting videos there. What I tell everybody is, I want to hand over my cards. Whatever you do, just type in Mark's Remarks and then whatever you want to see. Mark's Remarks pork chop, Mark's Remarks casserole, Mark's Remarks curry. Just put Mark's Remarks in front of it. And check out my Doomsday, Mark's Remarks Doomsday prep. I've done half a dozen videos of that, of what I do to prep. Because when the Chinese plague hit us, there was a mad rush at the shops for mainly bog roll, right? But when they were letting us back into the shops and go in there, and I swear to Christ, it was. I mean, I've talked about this. I've never seen the shop so empty. It was like half the usual stock was in there, because the first thing that was going, everybody was fighting over bog rolls. All right, that was everywhere was going crazy for that. And then it was things like pasta. The funny thing is, pasta was selling out like crazy, but pasta sauce was not. Rice was going like crazy. Canned food, everything from it started with the shop brand sweet corn, peas, soups, everything else, and then it was gradually going up in price because everybody, the name brands were the last to go, but they all went. Funny enough, baby food, because I bought I can't remember, it was a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on it, but I went and bought a load of baby food and baby nappies and donated it to the council, because they've got a box, a donation box, and they give to people who are in need of baby stuff. So I bought a load of baby food and baby nappies, and funny enough, there was no problem buying food and nappies for babies. There was no. You think that would be one of the things that would sell out pretty quick. If there's a shortage on deliveries, there's a mad rush on the shops. You'd think that everybody would be stockpiling food for the fucking infants, but no, there was no. I mean, the pasta was out. You couldn't get pasta because it was sold out like for weeks on end. tinned food, but nobody was buying the baby food. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. But anyway, so so I was doing that, and doing, so if anybody wants to do that, I mean, you can still do that, of course. Buy baby food, take it to your local council. They'll have a drop box. We can put in, and what they do, they hand it out to people in need. 4x4. What scooter are you getting? Well, actually, it's a super duper hyped up one. It's going to do about 55 miles an hour, I think. It should have a seat. I hope it's got a seat. It should have a seat on it. It's got some chunky tires on it, and the suspension says it's like for going not cross country now, but definitely over rough terrain. It's not one of those street. It's not like those street ones that they see. You hear in Milton Keynes. We've got some black scooters, orange scooters, and some green scooters. 3 different companies, I guess. They rent them out. I found out the other day. Somebody told me it's at 20 pence a minute to rent one of these things, but it's not like those. They're designed for roads and paths. So this one's got some chunky tires, so you can go across, shortcuts across the grass and stuff. Oh shit! Give me a minute. I'm going to take the duck out of the oven. Oh. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, right. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. What the you've got to be careful because it's full of juice. That's what the duck looks like, and it's getting hot. Jesus. Hey. Okay. Oh. Right. Yeah, that's the duck done. So I'll carve that up. If I can get the camera working, I'll make a video of me making a sandwich, but I wouldn't count on it, But anyway, I'm still looking for a new camera. Naz 050, have you tried the new McDonald's spicy quarter pounder? No, I haven't. No, I have tried the chicken BLT. That was pretty much okay, although it's like the mushed chicken, the same kind of chicken they have in their little mini chicken burger. It's not a chicken breast or nothing. It's just mushed, but it was okay. But I haven't tried the quarter spicy. I haven't tried the spicy quarter pounder. That they do have on the window. I saw a double quarter pounder, which makes me think, wouldn't that be a half pounder? I don't know. But anyway, it's a double quarter pounder. So if I would like to do a review. If I can get the camera going and get a ride down there, do a mukbang with a duck. If I can get the camera working, it's a bit on and off. Yeah, that duck did look good. Not Troll says, yeah, I do like duck. And duck, if because you'll see if you type in Mark's Remarks duck, you'll see my videos. When you get the meat, you can actually shred it with 2 forks, which you can't do with a chicken. But the meat on a duck comes apart, and that's why it goes that much further. Because, in my opinion, when you've got a duck, when you've got a chicken, You cut the leg, you know, the legs. You've got the chicken breast. You've got the wings, all that lot. But you know, you've got lumps of chicken. But when you've got a duck and you can separate it with a fork, it spreads so much further. You know, you can use it. You can put a lot of it. It will spread straight through a sandwich really, really well. You've got some left over to make a stir fry or a curry with it. I've done that. But yeah, check out Mark's duck. You'll see all the different stuff I'm doing. It goes so far and it's very versatile. Jack Hadrich. You're going to chop that up into tiny pieces. Well, I'll try and rip off some big chunks and then separate it with a fork. It's a lot nicer than because I've tried, because I've had lumps of duck in a sandwich and it's hard to get through. But if you shred it, then it's a whole lot better. Jack Hadrich, how many burgers could you eat when you were training? Well, actually, when I was training, I didn't really sort of go for sort of junk food, as they call it, because I lived and breathed the weight training. I've got a photo up there. I've shown people on camera, but me when I was about 20, well, I was 25, bodybuilding, and I hardly ever ate junk. Once, because the trouble was, which I see now, was a bit of a problem. I was so into it. I lived and breathed it. The training, I ate super healthily, trained really hard. Trouble was, I was denying my body other things, like because I would go a month, 2 months of eating really good, solid, wholesome food, and then because I was denying my body different calorie, nutrient types things, I'd go out and eat 6 chocolate bars in all in one sitting, or I'd go out and buy a big pizza and eat that, and then feel like shit afterwards, and then I have to go training again But later on, I realized that if I can still train or to do a little bit of working out, but don't deny your body what you crave, and you'll be fine. Because it's because I was denying my body. That's why I would purge, or binge rather. I would binge when I got the chance. I would eat a whole pizza, or a big kebab, or let's say 6 chocolate bars in one go. If I'd have just trained and had a chocolate bar when I felt like it, it would just be once in a while I'd have a chocolate bar. But because I wasn't, I would eat them all in one go. So anyway, to your question, I didn't when I was training, but years ago I went through a stage where I could actually eat. I was eating I could eat 4 Big Macs, no chips and stuff, just 4 Big Macs in a sitting. There was one time I ate 5 fillets in a sitting because they're smaller. I used to do that once a week. I put on a little bit of weight doing that, and it's really hard to take off. It's easy to put it on, but yeah, I mean, after work, before I got fired from the Argos, after work I used to go into McDonald's and I would buy a box of 20 nuggets and a fish fillet meal. So one fillet meal and 20 nuggets would do me, and that was pretty easy to do. It's hard to get what's this? Not a troll. It's hard to get all the meat. Carving a duck, shredding is the best way to get the most out of one. Exactly. Yeah. Because even if because you can cut the leg off, you can maybe cut some of the breast off, and then you got a big lump, and then shred that. But when you get down to the bone, the chicken, the duck bone, you can hold the bone and the skeleton, and basically scrape along the bone, get all the meat off. I'll tell you, I mean, I've actually done that on video as well. Strip the skeleton of all the bone, or all the meat, and it's amazing how much you can scrape off there. It's worth taking a look. YK says hello. Hello to you. It looks like a new name. I don't recognize that name from. It must be new. Are you new? YK. Jack Hamish. Jack Hadrich. How did customers react to you eating lots of burgers in one sitting? Well, that's the thing. What I would do is, I mean, I would buy two Macs, eat those while they're hot, and then go back and get another two Mac. That kind of thing. I wouldn't buy four or five fillets or four Macs at the same. I would buy two at a time. But then you've got your dumb shit who comes in and can see the box, even though I tried to put the boxes one inside the other to not make a big mess on the table, and you got some fucking moron come in and say, "Hungry, are you?" Like this. Oh God, fuck. That's how they would react. But nobody really sort of give me looks or nothing. It's just that occasionally you get some goof who thinks he's the only one to ever say that line. Hungry, are you? Bit like when you see a window, oh, you missed a bit. Like that's the thousandth. It's like every person said that. Anyway. But no, that's the only silly thing that customers used to do. Anyway, got 4x4. Good. Right, 4x4's off. Thank you very much for sticking with the channel and tuning in. We'll speak to you on the next one, I guess. Ian Cyril Benoit, are you part of the lunchbox movement? You see, that's the thing. I don't know what people ask me stuff like that. I don't know what that is. If you want to elaborate, I don't know what. Are you part of the lunchbox? I don't know what I'm sure that means. I mean, Jack Hadrich finds it funny, and yeah, I'm not sure what that is. But if you want to say what that is, that's fine. Not a troll says it's a bad joke. Ian Cyril Benoit says he will elaborate. Goes on to say, basically, when you frequently forget your lunchbox, do you do that? No. Actually, well. I mean, I use the canteen. I don't take my own lunches into work except for the weekend when there's no cafeteria. That's the only time I take in a packed lunch to work. Otherwise, I use the canteen. The other thing, if anybody's interested, just as a heads up, it just jumped into my head. I took 50 quid worth of coin up to the Metro Bank today, and I've actually plugged them before by saying you could go in. They have a machine where you dump all your coins in, and it will count them up, and it will kick out a receipt. You go to the counter, get your money. You don't have to be a member of the bank to use it, although they hassle you. They ask you every time, do you want to open up an account? Now, they're not letting people use it unless you're a member of the bank. So there's one more reason why I'm not going to be signing up with them. Because the thing is, I might well have opened up an account, because I'm not going to do it straight away. I mean, I've got to go in there a bunch of times before I, feel the need. But it's quite possible that I would have opened up an account there, because the only reason why I go in is to throw money in the coin counter machine. So I've used it half a dozen times. One day I would have said, right, sorry, let's bite the bullet. Let's open up an account. So instead of getting, I'll just put the money straight into a savings account. But now No, if they're going to refuse the use of the machine, then no, I won't be opening an account there. It was a bit of a shame because it's the only place you can do that. You know, uh, I mean, luckily, I went to the market, bought some stuff from a market stall up at the Milton Keynes market, and I managed to unload £25 worth of coin, but still got £25 left. And I'll see if the local shops want to get rid, want to get it. But the trouble was, see, the reason why I went out to the Metro Bank was because I took exactly £50 because I counted it because I wanted a £50 note. Because again, I've mentioned before, I find that if I've got money laying around, it's there, and if I want to buy something, then I'll probably go buy something with it. But with a £50 note, although I never have any trouble spending it, it's easier for me to save it. I can put it in the corner, say, build them up, build a few notes up as a safety net in case I crack a bone in my foot again or have an injury. Uh, it's just easier not to use a 50, where it's easier to spend a 10 and 20. My bank that I've been with forever, Lloyd's, Barclays Bank. I went in there 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I fucking hate. You go in, you're in the queue, and you got some fucking girl come up to you, demanding to know what you're doing, right? So you're supposed to stand there, explain that you're putting money in, putting money out. You're describing your personal banking details about how much money you have in your pocket, which you want to fucking withdraw or deposit, in a line full of people who are listening to how much money you have on you, which is not always, especially really, it's not always a good thing to sort of broadcast that sort of information. Anyway, so I went in and I said, look, well, the thing is, I want to withdraw some money. He said, oh, you can use the machine. I said, no, you know, I've been around long enough to know that the machines kick out money. I don't need the kind of money that the machines are giving out. I need £50 notes. She goes round. Nobody's got any £50 notes, right? And of course, so now I have to order £50 notes. Like a week in advance. I have to go in. I have to fucking travel up there to the bank, order some 50s for the following week. I said to her, you're a bank, aren't you? You're supposed to have fucking. But apparently, £50 notes, even though they are legal tender, the banks they get their underwear in a bunch if anybody asks for any £50 notes. I mean, what's the big deal of a £50 note? Honestly, I mean, the Christ, Americans, they've got like $100 notes. If any Americans watching, what's the highest one you do? You've got $1,000 notes. Do you have anything higher than that? And this country getting in a fucking bind over a 50. Honestly, it's that they're not easy to get hold of. Personally, I've only ever had one place that's refused the £50 note, and that was the canteen in the company that I was working for. I tried to buy my dinner with it. They fucking refused it. Every other shop, if I go to the corner shop to buy some food, some electric, put some money on my phone, buy a DVD, my local co-op. When I got let go from where I was working, I had a big stack of 50s and fucking loads of them, right? And so what I was doing, I was using that because I wasn't, because that's what it's there for. It's a safety net. So I was going into the co-op every couple of weeks with a £50 note, to buy my groceries. And every time you go to the counter, sometimes you'd have to, to stop the line from getting held up. I would say to the woman, right, I'll be paying with a 50 to give her a chance to call the manager. The manager, which half the time was a foreigner anyway, right? So it's their job to verify up in the light or whatever about, whether this English note is a genuine note. So if you want to verify, if you want to verify the authenticity of an English pound note, you don't ask the foreigners. Okay, it's just. But anyway, they would always, even though even though they've got a blue light under the counter, which they can test. They can't test the plastic ones, I don't think. Well, actually, yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah, because I've got ultraviolet, I've got a blue light, which but so it doesn't come up with all the flecks like it used to. It comes up with just the the five on the five plastic 5 note. It'll say the number 5, the same as the 10 and the 20. But the 50, you put it under and it glows, So even though they had that, they would have to call the manager to verify. So, well, that's the only trouble I ever used to get, with a 50. But trying to get hold of one, because there is a there is a perception here in England, which is wrong, in my opinion, that the only people who require £50 notes are people who are drug dealers, which doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, what's the difference? A £50 note, £20 notes, £10 notes, they're all, why £50? Or for tax fraud purposes. I don't know. People are buying fucking stuff with suitcases full of cash, apparently, so £50 notes is less bulky. Some stupid reasoning shit like that. So there is a stigma. It's a wrong, it's wrong, but that's what it is. YK was setting up a bank account for their daughter, 17-year-old daughter, and had the same problem. I'm not sure if it's you answering somebody else's, but if it's with 50s, I mean, sometimes I've managed to get 50s out of the bank, no problems whatsoever. Other times I say, oh no, you got to order them. I don't want to fucking walk. I don't want to get the bus on my day off. Get a fucking bus up to the city centre purely to go in the bank and say, oh, by the way, I want to waste my day off by coming next week. So could we please have some £50? No, I want to go in there. YK, yeah, I only know of $1,000 notes from the US. Yeah, I mean, I've seen on films. I don't know whether. I mean, yeah, $1,000 notes. I'm thinking 10,000. Is there might be a 10,000, or that might be just something for the movies. I don't know. But $1,000 notes, yeah, you know. I mean, I would imagine you'd probably be saving them for something with a big purchase. You go in and buying a car or something. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't go and buy a pizza. I would imagine with $1,000 note. But I mean, in my opinion, we need £100 note. It would be a good thing. It'd be nice thing to sort of save if you're saving some money in the house for when you have an injury or something. Then it's a good it's a good way of saving, because £50 notes are, like I say. I mean, I've never had any problem spending them, but they're easier to save. Yeah, not a troll. This chat is degenerated into utter filth. Yeah, I just I put somebody on a timeout. I just read one of their comments, put them on the timeout. It's a bit of a shame, because when you see a new person on the chat and they start acting like silly sods, it just bit of a shame, because you want to have new people. YK, hi Mark, please can you unblock Swedish Sam? I don't know. Actually, I don't recognise the name, but there's got to be 50 people, because I have a list that on my in the computer settings. I can go into it, and it lists everybody who's a moderator, everybody who's been banned. If I've banned him, it'll be because he's been a silly sod. I don't recognize the name. Might have been from a while back. But then I look at there's got to be 50, 60 names. I once in a blue moon I'll go through the list, and I think, Christ, I don't even remember these names. But I banned them for a reason. So YK, if you can, I don't know, if you tell me why he got banned, maybe that'll jog my memory, or ask me in a couple of weeks' time, I guess, maybe. But I'll have to go into the settings. But that's the thing. I don't ban everybody who's being a pain in the ass. There's a lot of stuff that I let slide, but it's when they start to, either get abusive, personally abusive to me, or occasionally other viewers. If they get basically out of order, they're just not doing the right thing, then they get banned. They don't get banned for. If they start talking stupid shit, then I've got a moderator or two, or maybe I will put them on a timeout, like I've done with Ian Cyril over here. But to get banned, you've got to do something pretty bad. So I'm in no big hurry to unban somebody who I've banned. Not to say that I won't. I'm just, they were banned for a reason. Anyway, but yeah, like I say, Sweden. I don't even remember the name. Anyway, right. It's right. Anybody want to hit the thumbs up before I go? It's been 2 hours. I'll leave that there. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go to work tomorrow. Like I say before, it's a shame Peter B didn't show up, because I could give him another shout out for that cigar that he paid for. But no doubt he'll watch this on the rerun. Good night to you, Jack Hadrich. All right. If anybody wants to help the channel, like I say, that Peter B and a few others, that's sort of like, something that they do now and again, but I don't sort of push that. If anybody does want to help the channel, just let the ads. There'll be ads on this. There'll be ads on my cookery channel. Check them out. Just let the ads play, or at least some of them. Okay. Some of my older ones, I just put all the ads I could on there. All the ones that are for 10 seconds, the ones that stop the video to play an ad. I didn't know what I was doing. Nowadays, I tend to only have the ads that show up over here, or show up over in the top right corner, or will play for like 6 or 10 seconds. Normally I sort of let them slide. I don't have the other ones that stop my video to play an ad, because they're a pain. But if you can put up with the ones that just appear at the bottom and on the side, if you can just let them play, that'll help the channel. It means that I can, obviously I don't live on that money, because I've earned sod all from it, but what little I do earn, I can invest into different things to, buy these ducks or whatever else, buy a some kind of toaster or whatever, or different food things. Anyway, it all gets invested into the channel anyway. Jack Hayworth, I always let all your ads play. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That they pay fuck all, let me tell you. But if enough people do it, it all chips in and adds together. And it's a way of helping the channel that doesn't cost you anything as well, and like I say, that they're on the side, they don't get in the way. Rex, hello to you. Goodbye, Mark, he says. Not a Troll says it was a good stream. Thank you. Good to see you back. Looking forward to the next one. Thumbs up, everyone. Yep, everybody hit the thumbs up, Liz. Watch the Not a Troll says watch the ads. Yep, it all helps, Anyway, it's been just over 2 hours, and thank you to everybody for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. It'd be maybe next week. Good night, everybody.